It's the beginning of our 11th super fight. Sebastian Pentreth bites down on a Russian tie. And generally, you don't want a front headlock against a Russian tie, but Jahred Dell does not care about that. Nice shot there by Sebastian Pentreth, but Jahred Dell appears to have hips made out of stone, managing to bite down on a front headlock once again. You can tell immediately Jahred Dell is very strong, has insane grip strength. Sebastian Pentreth doing all the right stuff to try and get out of that front headlock, but took him a little while. Nice guard retention by Jahred Dell. Not a ton of action just yet in this position, but our referee is watching very closely. Jahred Dell being coached and cornered by the esteemed James Woonton. Sebastian trying to bite down on a Kimura there. Just missed it, but able to find his way on top. Jahred Dell wrestles up and finds himself on top with a body lock around the body of Sebastian Pentreth. Great work by Jahred Dell to get the knees to the side, moves straight from a side body lock to a standing rear body lock. And nice work by Jahred Dell to shut down the Granby roll attempt of Sebastian there. Nice little reverse Hayatoshi there by Jahred Dell. Great technique from the standing rear body lock. Low effort and super effective. Finds himself behind the elbows on Sebastian Pentreth with a little bit of time to work. Sebastian finds himself in on the leg. It looked like he was thinking about attacking an outside heel hook for a split second, but he abandons it and goes for a straight ankle lock, relinquishes the leg.
All three judges score it to the blue corner.
So first round banked for Jahred Dell. Be interested to see how Sebastian approaches this next round, knowing he's down a round. Great roll through there by Sebastian. It was a really nice throw by Jahred Dell. Sebastian carried the momentum through and rolled him over, which is unfortunately can be the problem with hitting a nice, clean, high-amplitude throw. In this sport, in judo, you throw someone on their back, you win. In grappling, obviously, you need to submit them. So throwing them on their back is not enough. You have to pin them afterwards. Great job by Sebastian there, but unfortunately, he was reversed again. Now Jahred Dell finds himself on top in a backside crucifix. Seb now finding himself on the back, trying to lock in a power half Nelson. Jahred Dell just extremely robust and strong, not wavering at all to the power half Nelson on the back of his head from Sebastian Pentreth. And Seb's starting to punch in that strangle. He locks the body triangle, secures the position. And Sebastian looking to trap an arm now. Looks like he's successfully done it. It's not looking good for Jahred Dell at this point. Sebastian opts to move for an armbar, or maybe now a triangle. Well done by Jahred Dell to fight his way out of that one. Sebastian opts to find himself, or does find himself, back on the back of Jahred Dell. I'm surprised Sebastian elected to attack an armbar previously when he was on the back. He trapped the arm. Perhaps he felt Jahred Dell already on the way out, so he tried to attack him as Jahred escaped. Definitely looks to me like Seb might take this round. Seb in on it, locking a Kimura and a side triangle. The triangle's not very tight, but it does give great control of the upper body. It allows you to isolate an arm like Sebastian's trying now. Looking for a Kimura on the left arm of Jahred Dell. Sebastian on the back once again, this time a little bit deeper, punching in the strangle. Looking to neck pummel. Jahred Dell doing a good job hand fighting and just not allowing Sebastian to get under his neck. Extremely frustrating when you're on someone's back. One minute left on the clock for Sebastian to try and get a finish. And I suspect here, if you're Jahred Dell, you're probably going to play a pretty conservative game, knowing that this round is likely gone. Just focus on not getting submitted, and then go for it in your last round. I would suspect we're going to see a third round. Both men up 1 round. And see who can clutch it in the final round. Sebastian desperately trying to make something happen and look for a finish, but it can be very difficult when your opponent is focused exclusively on being defensive.
All three judges score this for the red corner.
Nice Uchimata attempt by Sebastian. It fails, but he rolls straight into a leg. Jahred attempts to counter him. Looks like a fairly deep knee bar for Jahred, but Sebastian doesn't seem too concerned, shakes his head at the crowd. Very hard for Jahred Dell to finish that one with Sebastian stepping directly on his hamstring. And Jahred Dell starting to show signs of exhaustion, not really defending the go behind there. Sebastian just moves straight behind him. Great job by Jahred Dell to jump back up. Great single leg by Sebastian Pentreth, but Jahred manages to lock in on a front headlock and jump back up and get behind Sebastian. It's been the story of this match, Jahred Dell having a brutal front headlock. This match is really coming down to the wire. Jahred Dell now behind the elbows of Sebastian, looking to break Sebastian down, almost locking a cradle there. Jahred Dell now finds himself on the back of Sebastian. Sebastian reaching down to try and free himself from the hooks of Jahred Dell, but almost gets his arm trapped in the process. And Jahred Dell obstructing the breathing of Sebastian Pentreth here, constantly reaching over the mouth and nostrils. And Jahred getting some wise advice from his corner. James Woonton to harass with the strangle as well. Play a game between improving the leg position and attacking the strangle. Jahred really starting to bite down on the neck of Sebastian Pentreth now. Unfortunately for Jahred Dell, his corner, James Woonton, can't exactly see what's happening, nor can I, but it looks like Jahred Dell is working to punch in this strangle against a belly down, face down Sebastian Pentreth. And it looks to me like Jahred Dell is pretty insistent on staying in mount, not super interested in getting back onto the back of Sebastian Pentreth. I think he could if he wanted to. Sebastian would rather have him on his back. Turns in and faces him, but Jahred Dell collects an underhook on Sebastian. This could be the beginning of the end for Sebastian Pentreth if he can't find a way out of this pin. Sebastian Pentreth now has the shot clock activated for him. Referee telling Sebastian Pentreth he needs to force the action and get something done. Unfortunately, that's pretty hard to do when you are mounted and your opponent has an underhook. And interestingly, once again, we saw this earlier in the night. You could argue Sebastian, after his penalty reset, actually got a better position because he was completely pinned in mount and unable to get out. Now he finds himself in the bottom of basically a referee's position, an open turtle, and he's able to make something happen. Unfortunately, ends up mounted again. Great job by Jahred Dell. Coming to the end of this match, I would say this is likely Jahred Dell's round and Jahred Dell's match.
It'd be a different world of fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, the judges, all three judges score this 29-27. Your winner out of the blue corner, Jahred Dell.